Thank you. I now recognize the honorable lady from Arizona, Representative Ansari, for her 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for hosting this hearing on one of the biggest economic challenges facing Americans. Like the rest of the country, I represent a district where so many of the Arizonans who keep our community running, teachers, firefighters, service workers, and nurses, are being priced out of their communities, the same communities that they helped build. Rents have exploded in the last couple of years in Phoenix. What used to be, considered one of the most affordable cities in the country has become pretty unaffordable, and homeownership has become an impossible dream for most would-be first-time home buyers. I know many of you mentioned the housing supply crisis as the biggest reason why we're in this situation. I could not agree more. In Phoenix, we're about 200,000 units short of where we need to be. When I was on the Phoenix City Council, we did everything possible to make bureaucratic zoning laws easier. I saw that firsthand. I led the charge to legalize ADUs in Phoenix, to reduce arbitrary parking minimums. And just last week, we hosted a shadow hearing on housing affordability in my role as the chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus's Lowering Cost Task Force, and heard from policy experts on a whole menu of ways to tackle the affordable housing crisis. We know that we have many options to lower housing costs, but some of the actions by the Trump administration have only raised construction costs, exacerbated labor shortages, and gutted HUD and programs that keep working Americans afloat. In a report from the Nonpartisan Economic Policy Institute, they concluded that if the Trump administration meets its goal of deporting 4 million people by the end of 2028, 1.4 million immigrants who work in the construction industry would be lost. There would also be a net loss of 861,000 jobs among U.S.-born workers, because the sudden removal of part of the workforce could force contractors to rapidly scale back or shut down entirely. Mr. Hughes, I'll start with you. Yes or no, would you agree that there is already a labor shortage in the construction industry?
Yes.
And would losing somewhere between 1 to 2 million workers make the problem worse?
Sure.
And how does the already existing labor shortage impact our ability to meet the housing demand?
Well, it affects it tremendously. I mean, if you simply don't have the trades to do the job, it makes everything more expensive, almost non-existent. I mean, we have some subdivisions sitting with slabs exposed without enough labor. So we're hopeful and confident that we can figure out how to deal with this immigration issue, because we simply have to have them. Our estimate is that 30% of our workforce are foreign-born.
Thank you. And I appreciate your answer. And I know your organization's research showed that there was a $10.8 billion economic impact caused by longer construction times due to the labor shortage. And immigrants, the very people that this administration is attacking and causing to be fearful of going to the work site, make up about 25% of the construction workforce and 1/3 of the craftsmen. I want to move to the topic of tariffs as well. The Center for Economic Progress estimates that tariff-induced building costs will lead to 450,000 fewer homes being built over the next 5 years. The National Association of Home Builders have been outspoken against President Trump's tariff policies. Mr. Hughes, also for you, what measures are home builders having to take to responding to rising material costs associated with tariffs?
I haven't experienced it directly, and for the most part, there's just about always another option. I've had it affect me directly in one way with a scaffolding product that I have bought in Canada over the years, and that is a tariff now, and so it's just forced me to find another source in the States. I build with a lot of concrete. So the concrete industry, or Portland cement, has affected a lot of the Portland cement, the gray powder that concrete's made of, is imported. So that's somewhat of effect, and gypsum. But for the most part, I haven't seen it. I haven't had to deal with it. So that's about as far as I can speak to it.
Thank you so much. And finally, President Trump and DOJ have also gutted HUD and gone after programs like housing choice vouchers. Trump has also proposed to cut off rental assistance after 2 years, even if participants still can't afford rent on their own. Ms. Nagy, the final question's for you. How does insufficient funding for these programs impact the families who rely on rental assistance to keep a roof over their heads? And what effect would a time limit on voucher availability have on these low-income families?
So, regarding Section 8 vouchers and funding for them, right now, if you live in New York City, you can't even get on the wait list. The wait list itself for Section 8 is closed. Time limits are based under the assumption that the folks who are working, and most folks who can work are working. It's just they're working minimum wage jobs that don't pay them enough, do not have regular hours. Many of these folks also have kids, other responsibilities that they need a bit more regular scheduling. So unfortunately, it actually in places that have tried these time limits, they've actually found them to be counterproductive. And I really do not recommend any place experiment with them. Experiment with this unless they are prepared to take on the much more resource-intensive burden of housing now homeless folks who used to have some stable, affordable housing.
Thank you for the extra time, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.